this is Assemblyman Nicholas Chiaravalloti from the 31st Legislative District. This weekend is Dr. Martin Luther King weekend, and although a lot of our larger events have been canceled, I wanted to get together with a couple of friends and have a very brief conversation about what Dr. King means in today's world to them as individuals. I'm going to start with Lewis Spears.
Hey,
Many of you, there he is, he's waving. You'll recognize his smile from the Lay's potato chip commercial. But Lewis is a lot of things, right? He's a teacher, I think by motivation and by passion.
right.
He's a volunteer, and he is also an author, right? He wrote a great book, which I enjoyed reading, about his story from the projects of Jersey City to Harvard and then returning back home to do good. So, Lewis,
Absolutely.
I want to give you a minute to talk about the nonprofit and its mission, and maybe you can then introduce Jonathon, and I'll come back.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Lewis Spears. As the Assemblyman has stated, I am all of those things, but the greatest accolade is husband and also now father, right? I really enjoy all of those things, but I take pride, and I also take pride in being an amazing husband. Ask my wife, I promise. And also,
you can keep selling, but go ahead.
And also a dad, an amazing dad. So Kismet of Kings, we birthed Kismet of Kings in 2013 because as an educator at the time, I saw how, with the best intentions, how education in the school system failed young men, particularly young men, Black and Latino. And basically, we started the program in 2013 so that we could provide them with a different perspective and giving them real life examples and of mentors. And so right now we do a lot of work around character and leadership development. I have Jonathon here, who has been a part of Kismet of Kings for going on probably 2 years now. This is his second year. He's a senior and he attends Ferris High School. And he wants to talk a little about, no, matter of fact, just talk to us about who you are. Tell us what you like to do, like taking long walks on the beach and things like that.
My name is Jonathon Tiller Houston. I go to Ferris and I'm a senior, as Mr. Spears said. I like to spend time with my family and friends all the time. And I'm just like a normal guy, basically.
Tell them what you want to be. Tell them what you want to be when you grow up.
I spend a lot of time playing video games, so I'm really thinking about being like somewhere between a graphic designer or like a video game designer or something in that field. So that's what I'm really thinking about doing.
Yeah, this guy's
good
amazing.
For you, Jonathon. That's exciting. And you're a senior, so you're graduating. So you're looking at schools for next year?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking at schools right now.
Okay. Well, after we're done with this call, this little discussion, we'll talk more about college and college options. Because in the real world, when I'm not playing Assemblyman down in Trenton, I'm an educator and an administrator up at the county college and used to work at St. Peter's. But we only have a couple of minutes, so I do want to ask you,
Yes.
The main question. I just lost you all on the screen there. We celebrate on this weekend. We always celebrate, Dr. King Day, right? And for many of us, myself in particular, it's a little bit different of a holiday because there really is no large sort of gathering celebration. A lot of the messaging is around service, right? But I'm wondering in 2021, post 2020, in the world of pandemic, as we move on to a new administration in Washington, what does Dr. King's message mean to you? And really, what is his message to you and to others? I'm going to start with Jonathon, and then we're going to throw it over to Lewis.
Martin Luther King's message, it just gave so much people hope and a drive that they could be able to do, to accomplish more in the world and show people that they can accomplish more. Because, like back then before Martin Luther King came up, many white people looked at black people as inferior. But like because Martin Luther King showed that he could do what he was able to do, like more and more people began to look at black people as people that they could be like equal to. And then like nowadays, like people around my age, we can look at what Martin Luther King did and kind of be inspired to do like what we want to do in our way, in like a more like modern way right now, and just show like the people in our community what we can accomplish.
Thank you, Jonathan. Lewis, as someone who's got a couple of years on John, what does it mean to you? And as a parent, right? I mean, look, the reality is that you and I've had spent a lot of time talking about, different perspectives, right? As a father, I have a different perspective on a whole bunch of issues, right? Because, I'm not a person of color, right? I'm not an African American male raising young African American men, right? So my children face different obstacles and different challenges, and look at the world very differently than your children will as they grow up and mature. So in 2021, what does Dr. King mean to you?
So one thing that he said, I was driving on 78 going into Pennsylvania, and there's a huge billboard of Martin Luther King, and it says, "The time is always right to do what is right." And so in these times, right, where, politically it's tumultuous down in Washington, even in our own communities, there are some ordinances and things of those natures to like improve the quality of life of people who have been disenfranchised over a time. And he said that there's always the right time to do what is right. The time is always right to do what is right. And so this is the time to do what's right by the people who have been disenfranchised, right? Oftentimes, right, we're going and we're living and we don't necessarily think about the next person, or what can we do to inspire someone else, or what can we do to affect change in the lives of those around us. But there's always there's never going to be the optimal time. So where you are right now is the right time. And so that's what I carry. That's what I walk with. That's why Kismet of Kings exists. That's, as a dad, that's what's so important to me, to do what's right, because I know that the works that I do right now is going to affect not only my young men, Kismet of Kings, but also the young men who I'm raising in my household right now.
Right. Well, look, I think that's powerful. I think you guys touched on two of the things that have always moved me about Dr. King. One, the message of positive hope, right? No matter what was happening, he always tried to uplift, not put down. And I think when we look back over the last several years, we've been dominated, right, by a message of negativity. And I'm hoping that we can sort of recapture that positiveness and that hopefulness. The other thing is the individual's responsibility, which was always something that struck me about the civil rights movement, where we have a responsibility as individuals to act. Like, yes, the system is broken, but there's always a call to action and self-discipline. Like, I don't know if, and Jonathan, you're a young man here, but, when you look at using nonviolence to change a system, right? Violence is easy, right? Losing your temper is easy. Having the self-discipline to participate in the nonviolent campaign that the civil rights movement represented, that's hard, right? That's hard work. I don't know if I have that sort of self-discipline. But look, I think in 2021, like, I appreciate you guys joining me and just having this sort of quick conversation. I'm really appreciative of you, Jonathan, taking time as a young man to sort of join this call. One of the things that we need in our society, and I know Kismet Kings is working on this, is mentors, right? Is examples. And Lewis is a fine example of someone who's done well and succeeded from the community. And quite frankly, young man, we're looking forward to big things from you. And more importantly, we expect big things from you, okay?
Absolutely. Jonathan, we didn't hear you, Jonathan. He didn't say yes.
Yeah. Did he say yes? I thought I heard an name. I don't know.
All right. Awesome,
All right,
Jonathan. Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Assemblyman,
you.
man,
Give me
appreciate you.